Yeah, you can get out. Well guys, welcome back. As y'all know, we have not been here very much over the last year and a half or so, and of course that has left us precious little time to gather firewood for this winter. The other day my family and I were driving around in the Jeep, and I was thinking, which one of these trees can I cut down to get some nice firewood? And lo and behold, we come around the curve and there's 2 oak trees just laying on the ground waiting for us. There's 2 trees right here in a very small area. This one right here is a white oak. If I had to guess, I don't have my measuring tape, but if I had to guess, it's probably 15 or so inches, maybe 16 inches at the base, and quite tall. There is a ton of wood in this particular tree, and this is the one that we're going to cut up first. This other one is laying maybe 50 yards, maybe 30 yards away from the white oak tree. This is a water oak, and water oaks make okay firewood, not nearly as good as white oak trees, but they make wood that will burn pretty hot. It just won't burn for as long, and it tends to leave a lot more ashes. But this water oak is probably 20 plus inches, maybe around 25. It is an absolute monstrosity. There's a ton of firewood in this tree. So let's start on the white oak tree and get it bucked up and split up into pieces and get them stacked and see how much we need after the white oak tree, and if we end up needing more, we'll cut into that water oak as well. So let's get started. So on that last cut, I had the drone positioned just right because I just knew that this root ball right here was going to flop down and just be a spectacular shot, but I couldn't get it to go. So unfortunately, I didn't get the shot that I wanted. Let's finish up this tree. before, but not really anymore. Hey buddy, tell us what you did.
I cut down the tree.
With that axe?
Yep.
Looks like you did. How long did it take you?
2 half days.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, good job. Sorry guys, I had to brag on the garden just a little bit while headed to the shop to get my moisture meter here, but I wanted to pause for just a second to show you what the progress is looking like. So at this point, I'm about at 40%, maybe a little bit less of the amount of firewood that we need to get through the year. And we're in Georgia. We don't burn a ton of firewood because it doesn't get super cold here and stay that way for extended periods of time. But I'm starting to get that fuzzy feeling that comes with knowing that I've got some wood and some heat security through the winter, and that's just a really good feeling. But I wanted to pause for just a sec and show you how important this part of the firewood process is. Now, you can't just take firewood and throw it in a pile or stack it just however you want to. I think the definition of a cord of wood is a certain measurement of wood, but also the air inside of that wood. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. Firewood stacks have absolutely got to have air gaps between them so that they have airflow all around them so that they'll dry correctly. And basically it's the difference between this stick of wood and this stick of wood. This is a stick of wood from yesterday or 2 days ago, and this one's super fresh. It's basically off of a fresh tree, and the moisture level is almost too high for this thing to read. It's 43% or so. Super high. Now this is a stick of hickory wood that has been laying here drying from what's last year's firewood, so it's been here for a very long time. The moisture level on this is about 18%, so still, I don't think y'all can see that, just trust me. This right here will burn great in my fireplace. This right here, this won't burn at all. So you got to make sure you have air gaps in your firewood so that everything dries out and you have a much better winter as far as trying to get your wood to burn. At this point, I think I have about one more good load in the woods, so let's go ahead and finish this tree out and see what our stack looks like afterwards. Well guys, it looks like I underestimated that tree in a big way. Let me show you. I thought it would only take one more load to get the rest of this tree out of the woods, but that is the largest load that I have taken so far. That's a lot of weight right there, and I have still got plenty of tree left. My chains got so dull I couldn't get through that, and thankfully I had already cut up a lot of this stuff up here, but there's tons of it left to get up. Lots of small stuff, kind of like this stuff right here that doesn't actually have to be split, but some stuff that has to be split as well. And there's still some stuff that needs to be cut up in there. There's lots and lots of firewood still left up in the top of this tree. Got this on sale at Tractor Supply 7 or 8 years ago, and it's one of the best investments I've ever made. You can see the stump and the root ball right down there. There's a seat that my son and I were using the other day. It needs to be split too, but I want to get this stump off of here as well, because you can see there's lots of firewood in there. I can cut that about right in that area after I get the dirt off of the top, and there's probably a good 40 sticks of firewood just in that stump section alone. And after that, I'm not sure we're gonna have enough firewood for the year still, so we're gonna start on the top of this water oak tree as well, and I'll go down as far as I can, but probably won't be able to get the base section of it because it is just way too big for me to handle. With that load in the trailer, there's no way that the Jeep is gonna get up this hill in two-wheel drive. Those are just short pieces of firewood that I'm going to put on top. They don't fit very well in the middle. They would throw the pile off.
Yeah, but how many days away is that?
Oh, like 7. You have anything to say?
No.
No? You want to tell them about how you cut the tree down?
I cut a tree down with an axe the wrong way. I didn't do it at angle, so I did it like this.
Just straight on? You got it done though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good job. All right. Well guys, I'm tired. This has been quite a project and it's not quite over yet, but there was a lot more down there in the woods than I expected. That top of that tree, there's still a load down there. Probably not a huge load, but there's definitely still a load down there, plus the stump of the tree, and we'll try to get that stuff out of there next week. But I just calculated how much I have here, and it comes out to 1.13 cords of wood, so a little over 1 cord of wood, which is fantastic. This amount right here would probably be close to lasting us the winter. Again, we're in Georgia. It doesn't get super cold here, but if I want to be very comfortable and I want to burn as much wood as I want to burn, I'm gonna need a whole nother row right here, and it would just make me feel a whole lot better. So yeah, this is an extremely good start. This is well over half of what I need for the winter here, and I'm excited. I have that fuzzy feeling that tells me that I'm getting very close to being secure for the winter with heat. So that's super exciting. And what's even better is this is white oak. In my area, white oak is probably the best firewood that you can find. I know other areas probably have firewood that's a little bit better, but white oak in our area is about as good as it gets. It burns very hot. It burns for a very long time, and it doesn't leave a lot of ashes. I can go a few days without scooping the ashes out of our fireplace just because it burns so efficiently. White oak's pretty much the best that we have here. So what a gift this was, and I'm super excited to be able to just have this. It just makes me feel good to have it sitting around. But anyhow, guys, that's going to do it for this video. We will try to get the rest of this and the rest of what we need rather on the next one, and I will see y'all then. Thanks for watching. You want to say thanks for watching, or you just want to smile? Good enough.